My dear, it's time now to rest. You've had a long day, and the night is waiting to carry you to sleep. Come sit here beside me. Close your eyes if you wish. I will tell you a story, a very gentle story. A story about a train that left a small town more than 100 years ago. Not a train of noise and hurry, but a train that moved slowly, steadily, like a lullaby. So, breathe with me, my dear, in and out. The train sat quietly at the station, waiting under the glow of lantern light. The platform was made of wood, worn smooth by the steps of many travelers. A faint smell of coal and fresh bread floated in the night air. Children clung to their mothers' skirts, their eyes heavy with sleep. Men tipped their hats politely, their voices hushed, careful not to disturb the calm. The whistle had not blown yet, and so time felt suspended. It was as if the whole town held its breath, waiting. The lanterns swayed gently, their light flickering across the painted signs. A shop stood nearby, its windows glowing faintly, bread cooling on the sill. Someone carried a basket of apples, the scent crisp and sweet. The wooden benches creaked as passengers shifted, waiting for the call. And still, the train waited too, as though it understood the rhythm of the night. The great iron wheels rested, silent but patient, and all around, the quiet hum of life filled the air. At last, a gentle sound broke the stillness, the conductor's footsteps on the boards. He moved slowly, lantern in hand, nodding kindly at those he passed. His uniform was neat, his smile calm, his voice soft as he called, "All aboard." No rush, no hurry, only the steady kindness of a man who knew his train. Passengers rose, not quickly, but with quiet purpose. One by one, they stepped onto the waiting cars, and the old train gave a small sigh, as if waking from its rest. Inside, the air was warm with the scent of polished wood. All lamps glowed above, their light golden and gentle. Seats of dark oak stretched row by row, worn smooth by countless journeys. The windows were slightly open, letting in the cool night air. A mother settled with her child, humming a tune soft as a feather. Across from her, a farmer placed his hat in his lap, his eyes already drifting shut. Every sound seemed quieter here, wrapped in the embrace of the train. Then came the whistle, long, low, and steady. The sound echoed over the rooftops of the little town. Not sharp, not startling, but deep and comforting, like a voice calling good night. The wheels began to turn, slowly, carefully, like a giant stretching in the dark. Click-clack, click-clack. The rhythm began, steady as a heartbeat. The train pulled away, lanterns on the platform shrinking behind. The town grew smaller, and the night opened wide. Through the window, fields rolled past under the soft moonlight. The stars above stretched endless, bright and kind. The lamps inside flickered gently, casting golden shadows on the wood. No one spoke loudly. Voices were hushed, as though the night itself was listening. The farmer leaned his head back, his breathing slow and even. The mother's lullaby blended with the wheels, a song within a song, and the old train carried them all, steady and true, into the waiting dark. So, my dear, that is how the journey began. Not with noise, not with hurry, but with patience, with calm, with care. The town behind grew quiet, and the night ahead welcomed them gently. And as you listen, perhaps you too can imagine yourself there, sitting in a wooden seat, lantern light above, the train rocking you side to side. No need to move, no need to think, only to rest. For the train has begun its journey, and it will carry you safely onward. The train rolled forward, steady and calm, carrying its passengers into the open night. Outside the window, the town slipped away, replaced by fields bathed in silver moonlight. The air smelled of hay and damp earth, drifting gently through the open cracks of the windows. The sound of the wheels became softer now, more rhythmic, like a lullaby sung by iron and wood. Click-oo-clack, click-oo-clack. Each beat was even, patient, unhurried. And inside the carriage, heads leaned back, eyelids heavy, breath slow and deep. The train was no longer a machine, it was a cradle rocking them all to rest. Beyond the glass, the countryside stretched wide and endless. Rows of corn stood tall, their leaves rustling faintly in the night breeze. A quiet river wound its way under a wooden bridge, its surface shimmering with starlight. In the distance, a barn glowed faintly, a lantern swinging by its door. Somewhere, a dog barked once, and then silence returned, as if the night hushed even him to sleep. The world outside seemed painted in shades of blue and silver, gentle and forgiving. And every mile the train traveled, the night grew softer still. The wheels sang their song, steady as a heartbeat, carrying the passengers deeper into rest. Inside, the lamps flickered, their glow golden against the polished wood. A man in a wool coat closed his book, his fingers resting on the page he would not finish tonight. Across from him, a young woman pressed her cheek to the glass, her breath fogging the window. Her eyes grew heavy, her thoughts drifting far away, lulled by the motion of the train. No one hurried, no one worried. Time itself seemed to slow down in the warmth of the carriage. Even the air, cool and fresh, felt like a blanket laid gently over every weary traveler. The countryside whispered with life, but never too loudly. A cluster of trees passed by, their branches reaching like gentle arms toward the train. Owls called in the distance, their voices low and steady, blending with the wheels. Far across the fields, the faint glow of a farmhouse window shone, a quiet beacon in the night. Perhaps a family sat within, sipping warm milk, ready for sleep. Perhaps a lone lamp burned, keeping watch while others dreamed. And yet, from the train, all of it looked calm, safe, and still. As the train curved gently along the tracks, the stars above seemed to move with it. They glittered like scattered lanterns, countless and kind. Passengers stirred, shifting slightly, though most were already half dreaming. The farmer tilted his hat lower, his breath slow, his shoulders sinking. The mother whispered another lullaby, softer now, her child limp in her arms. The old wood of the train creaked like a rocking chair, steady, reliable, and through it all, the night cradled every soul aboard. The train passed over a stream, the wheels humming softly as the bridge sighed beneath them. Water flowed gently below, carrying moonlight across its ripples. For a moment, the sound of the stream joined the song of the rails, two lullabies blending, one of earth, one of iron. The sound faded as the train moved on, but the memory lingered, soothing and slow. The passengers did not need to see every detail. They only needed to feel the rhythm, and the rhythm was always gentle, always patient, always kind. So the train pressed deeper into the countryside, its lamps glowing like fireflies against the dark. It carried its travelers further from worrying, further from noise, closer to sleep. Every mile stretched out like a dream, quiet and unbroken. The fields whispered, the stars shimmered, the night sang low and steady. Inside, the rocking of the carriage eased heavy minds into surrender. Breath by breath, thought by thought, the train invited rest. And still, the journey was only beginning. The night had deepened now, darker and quieter than before. The train moved steadily, its rhythm unchanged click. Clack, click, clack, like a heartbeat in the dark. Passengers rested, their breathing slow, their bodies swaying with the gentle motion. Outside, the fields gave way to open land, wide and empty beneath the stars. The lamps inside flickered softly, their glow steady and warm. And then, ahead, the tracks began to stretch toward a great crossing, a bridge of iron and wood, arching high above a quiet river. The whistle sounded, long and low, rolling out over the night. It was not a call of warning, but of reassurance, steady, calm, unhurried. The train entered the bridge, its wheels humming a deeper note on the iron beams. Beneath, the water shimmered, catching every glint of moonlight like liquid silver. The sound of the river rose up, mingling with the rhythm of the rails. It was soft, endless, like the breath of the earth itself. And together, train and river sang a lullaby, too deep to resist. The bridge creaked gently, not in alarm, but in age, as though it had carried 1,000 such nights. Wooden planks groaned under the weight, each sound part of the harmony. The river below whispered back, its surface rippling, its song unbroken. Passengers did not stir. The crossing was too calm, to steady. The farmer shifted slightly, his hat falling to the floor unnoticed. The mother's lullaby had faded now. She too had drifted into silence. The child in her arms breathed softly, his dreams carried by the wheels. Stars above reflected in the wide, slow current, twin worlds of sky and water. The train seemed suspended between them, not moving forward, not backward, only floating, weightless, through the middle of the night. Lanterns swayed inside, casting golden arcs across polished wood. The creak of the bridge, the hum of the wheels, the sigh of the river, all became one. No sharp sound, no harsh edge, only layers of gentleness. It was as though time itself had slowed to match the rhythm. Beyond the bridge, the land opened again, flat fields stretching to the horizon. But the memory of the crossing lingered, quiet as a prayer. The conductor, lantern in hand, stepped softly down the aisle, checking each car. His footsteps were slow, respectful, careful not to wake a single soul. He paused once, smiling faintly at the sight of so many at rest. Then he moved on, his lantern's glow sliding across the wood. And all the while, the train continued forward, steady, patient, kind. Somewhere in the distance, an owl called, its voice low and mournful. The sound drifted across the fields, meeting the train in passing. A breeze followed, slipping through the cracks of the window, cool and clean. Passengers shifted slightly, their faces softened in sleep. The rocking of the train cradled them like a mother's arms. The night outside was vast, but inside was warmth, safety, and peace. The world could wait. Here, there was only rest. And so the train traveled on, carrying its dreams across the midnight river. The bridge was behind them now, a memory glowing faint in the distance. Ahead lay more fields, more stars, more quiet miles of silver track. But the crossing had left its mark, a reminder of stillness, of surrender. No need to hurry, no need to think, only to drift. The passengers slept, the train rocked, and the river whispered far behind. And the night, endless and kind, stretched on forever. The train had grown quieter now, as though the night itself had stepped inside. The rhythm of the wheels was softer, steady, a heartbeat no one needed to notice. Lanterns flickered low, their light golden and dim, painting gentle shadows across the walls of polished wood. Every creak of the carriage was slow, every sway deliberate, as though the train itself understood it carried not just passengers, but dreams. The farmer was the first to surrender fully to sleep. His hat had slipped from his lap to the floor, forgotten, his hands heavy at his sides. His chest rose and fell in time with the wheels, deep and steady. In dreams, perhaps he walked through endless fields again, soil rich beneath his boots, the sun warm on his back. But here, in the carriage, he looked peaceful and touched by worry, carried safely into the night. Across from him, The young woman had leaned against the glass until even the effort to watch the stars became too heavy. Her eyelids lowered. Her breath left small fogs on the cool pane, each one fading almost as soon as it appeared. Her thoughts had drifted far beyond the horizon, leaving her body to rest in the rocking embrace of the train. The faintest smile lingered on her lips, as though her dreams had already begun. The mother and her child, too, had been claimed by sleep. Her lullaby had quieted long ago, her voice now only a memory in the hum of the rails. The child's head rested against her chest, his small hand curled around the fabric of her dress. Their breathing was matched, steady and slow, as though one body carried two dreams. They were safe, cradled by both the mother's arms and the steady rhythm of the train. Down the aisle, the conductor moved softly, his lantern dimmed to the gentlest glow. His steps were quiet, careful not to disturb those at rest. He paused to glance at each passenger, his gaze calm, his smile faint. There was no hurry, no schedule pressing him forward. His duty was only to watch, to guard, to ensure that peace remained. As he passed, his lantern swayed lightly, brushing faces with golden light before fading into shadow once more. The countryside outside had grown darker, but the stars above burned bright, scattered like lanterns across the sky. The train slipped through the landscape like a ghost, its presence soft, its song unbroken. Every mile carried the passengers deeper into stillness, farther from thought, closer to the heart of sleep. The rails hummed like a lullaby. The night held them in silence, and the world outside seemed infinite, kind, and endlessly patient. Inside, the carriage sighed, content with the peace it carried. Dreams had taken root, and not one soul resisted. The train pressed forward, not fast, not loud, but steady and sure, carrying everyone deeper into the night. And with every breath, every sway, every hum of the wheels, the same promise echoed softly. You are safe. You can rest. You can sleep. And so, my dear, the journey has come to its gentle end. The train has slowed, the lanterns have dimmed, and the night has wrapped itself around us like a blanket. You have traveled far, through towns, through rivers, through mountains, until at last into dreams. There is no need to open your eyes now, no need to rise, no need to hurry. The train will carry you still, softly, quietly, on tracks that go only toward rest. Let the rhythm of the wheels be your breath steady, patient, kind. Let the night sky above be your shelter, endless and calm. And let sleep find you now, gently, easily, like a friend who has always been waiting. Good night, my dear. Good night, until the morning comes. You are safe, you are carried, and you are loved.